Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble.
Welcome back, my beautiful people. It's your boy Ben Humble here. Hey, we have an amazing day. Hope that you're having a blessed day and you're truly living in your anointing. I'm so happy for you guys. Beautiful day out in Canada. I've got an amazing conversation for you. So here's the deal. You guys know what we're all about here, right? By now, you know, it's been months of the show. We're episode 45-ish, 50, whatever we're at. Inspiration, living in your purpose, you know, and being willing to make a decision and choose faith over fear, and that is a conscious decision. So for those of you that tune in on a regular basis, so thankful for you. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for sharing the show. I've got a lot of amazing stuff going on. I'm super excited over here. If you've been tracking with me recently, we just dropped the dope trailer. So, okay, I'm giving you guys the update real quick. You guys know the book's coming out. In fact, it's sold out already, I think, on Amazon. We got to get more stuff done here. But here's the deal. Every cent from this book is going to Haiti. It's going to help some children that need help. Why Haiti? The only answer is, why not Haiti? You see, I have a passion for children, so when everything's going on in the world, why not just invest in love, invest in some people? So as of today, we started 3 days ago. We're at $4,086. Here's what I decided to do. Get me to 10 grand. I need you guys to donate to Caring House Project directly. Go to my Facebook page, click the thing, donate button, and if we get the 10 grand, I'm going to cut another check for $10,000 myself. I would love to give $20,000 to Caring House. And for those of you that don't understand what that means that for every $4,000, we can literally build a home. We can send dozens and dozens of kids to school, put food in their mouth, put shelter over their heads for a few $1,000s. It's an incredible thing. So I'm so excited. I'm so thankful for you guys. So let's jump right into it. Today, I got an immigrant brother. I got somebody who really understands what it's like to leave oppression, to leave war. And you guys might know some of this stuff. And, you know, we've had a couple of his brothers on before, but I want to jump right into it today. I want to bring on my brother, Sal Shakir. Sal, welcome to the show, man.
And I love everything about this show, about the purpose, you know, faith over fear. You just hit everything.
Come on, man.
You just hit it one after another. I love it. I love it.
Welcome, man. I'm so happy to have you.
I would love to be able to donate as well. I'll talk to my brothers as well. I know myself I'm going to donate, and I'm sure Alex and Carlos wouldn't mind doing it.
I love it. Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. You know, this is our second round with Caring House. And for those of you guys that don't know, Sal, what we did is last year we raised $151,000 for Caring House.
Wow.
And we have some amazing footage. So on June the 16th, my brother, we're going to be sharing all kinds of stuff with the world, letting them know what's going on. We need some hope and inspiration, man. And I believe, Sal, I want to get into this with you. I believe that when you're faithful in the small things and God keeps blessing you for more and your cup starts to overflow, the only thing that you're meant to do is to help other people fill their cups.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful feeling when you know your cup is overfilling. And you know what? When we're talking about this, and you and I are on the same frequency. This is crazy because we talk about this. Before, I didn't understand that. When your cup is not full, when it's half full, yes, you're going by, you're doing what you have to do. But then when it's overfilling, you just have that feeling that you have to do something to help someone else. And you know what? It comes in a form of building homes in Haiti. It comes in a form of helping and needies in your own backyard. It comes in a form of educating people. It comes in a form of, I don't even know, man. It comes in many forms.
Many forms.
But any form of help, you know what? In a selfish way, it does make you feel better.
Yeah. Well, and you know why it makes you feel good, man? I'll break it down, I think, theoretically for people. We have Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And the basic thing is food, shelter, clothing, all that stuff. And the very top level is self-actualization. Like, what is the meaning of life there? What are you doing with purpose and intention? And really, the only thing you can really do is God's first commandment is love other people. See, and if you do that full-heartedly, brother, it gives you a sense of fulfillment, not just emotions, not just happiness, but real, genuine fulfillment that you're accomplishing your purpose. So I'm proud of you guys, Sal. I got to tell you right off the bat, dude, I'm proud of you, Carlos, Alex, and the rest of the guys and folks over at All In. You guys are doing amazing stuff, man. I'm excited for you.
You know what? I just noticed something. By the way, you must be a very, very, and you know what? I need to tune into your podcast, and I apologize if I haven't. To the audience, for someone to speak the way that he's speaking, you have to reach an ultimate success, like some high level success for you to say, you know what is my purpose? What's my next thing to do? Because when you're chasing the dollar, you don't really have enough room to say, how can I help people? Because all you can focus on is how can I help myself and my family. But for you to go that far out, over $100,000 raise, helping other people, that means you're so fulfilled, that you're so content with what you have. Now, it doesn't mean more money. I'm saying successful is the ultimate happiness, right? So you're so successful financially, happiness, now it's overflowing, and you want to do that to other people, and that is amazing.
Yeah, thank you, man. I really appreciate that and acknowledge you for understanding it, because it's right. You know, this is the truth. And a lot of our times, I'm going to get into your story here in a second, but a lot of our times in our life, we get so focused on $20 problems. The hydro, the bills, the this, the this, the this. And our brains are so amazing, and our capacity for love and caring on people is so amazing. But yet we don't ever look at that side of our life because we're focused on this side of our life. We chase money, we chase comforts, we chase these things. And I want everybody who listens to this show has to become a millionaire. You have to. You're obligated. I'm telling you, you have to, for one critical reason. We came to Canada in 1991 with nothing but a will to thrive. They risked everything they had, left behind everyone they knew.
The only way out of the country was illegal, and the risk was huge.
I adopted the mindset that my parents had of faith and vision for my life. You see, they helped me understand that you get to decide what happens in this world. By the age of 30, I became a millionaire. I refused to accept scarcity, limiting beliefs, or someone else's excuses. So you want to know what the secret is? People ask me all the time, what's the secret? You want to know what it's going to take for you to succeed? Here's the truth. When I achieved $1 million, I was at 30 years. I got to the millionaire status, and what I realized something very, very distinctly in that moment, it was that the money was simply a number in my bank account. It didn't feel like anything. It was just money. But the level of development that I had to undergo, and the sacrifice, the discipline, the awareness, the customer-centric, like all those things were extremely more valuable than just the money. That's why, truthfully, like $1 million, it took me it took me 7-8 years. And then the next million came within like 18 months. Because your awareness, your understanding. So here's my point. I think you have to make money so you can stop focusing on money and live in your purpose. And yes, you have to fill your cup. If you don't fill your cup with mindset, if you don't focus on developing your spirit and your personal development, you can't pour the toxic nature of what you have in other people. You got to pour from a place of abundance.
You got millionaires that are toxic. You got millionaires that are not fulfilled. You got some miserable people with money, and they don't know what to do with it. They have no purpose. You know what the best millionaire is? I want to be a millionaire in a different, and I heard this from someone, so I'm not trademarking that one.
Yeah.
But I want to be a different type of millionaire. I want to change millions of people's lives. That type of millionaire.
That's powerful. I love that. So
your
version. The money. Oh, keep going, man. This is awesome.
No. This is literally what I wanted to get to. You know, be this type of millionaire. Yeah, obviously, you know, the money, when you're chasing it, obviously this is something that is going to take you to the next level. And I always say this, it's easier to pull someone up than push them up. And I give this example because you got people trying to help people. Broken people can't help other broken people. You have to fix yourself to be able to fix others. So unfortunately, in order to be selfless, you have to be selfish first. And I've been saying this for years now, and people take it the wrong way. Some people do take it the wrong way, some people don't. But let me elaborate on that. In order for you to help someone else, you have to focus on you and help yourself. If you want to invest $100,000 or $200,000 in building homes in Haiti, you're going to have to be able to take care of home, take care of everybody in your family. Then you can travel and go ahead and do that. You can't do that while your home is struggling.
That's right.
You can try to do it, but you're not going to do it the precise way that you want to do it, the proper way that you want to do it.
And something beautiful. Dude, you're talking about something so beautiful here, Sal, because, you're 100% right. I fully agree with you. I think it's never too late to start giving and showing love to other people, but you can't essentially give what you don't have. So it's like, hey, you should donate money to charity. No, start with you. You want to inspire and motivate people, and you want to create a massive, following of people that follow in that and create impact around the world. It starts with you. If you can't develop yourself and you can't master money and you can't master the principles, money, folks, money is a math problem. That's all this is. I failed math a couple times in school. I promise you, money is a math problem. It's not emotional. It doesn't have any feelings towards you. It does not care about you the way you care about it, and it will not chase you the way you chase it. So money is a math problem. We either get educated, we solve for the money problem, and then we get to live our passions out. Then we get to do the stuff we love. Otherwise, Sal, my brother, we're living in a fake reality, man, if we haven't mastered money.
Oh, absolutely, man. So there is a problem here, though. We got the wannapreneurs online that they think, they want to flaunt or they want to look a certain way, and they look at money very differently. They let the car they drive or the car they want to drive defines who they are, and that's a problem. That's actually a principal problem, because now you haven't found your whole purpose. You haven't found your why. Why are you doing this? Are you really doing this to get the car? Because that's a goal. It's fine. I mean, I love cars. I love others, nice things. But, that's a goal. That doesn't define who I am. That's not my why. That's a reward along the way. But ultimately, you have to have a why. You can't just sit and wake up one day and say, you know what? That's it. I made it. You'll be bored out of your mind. And with this COVID-19 stuff that's happening and the riots that's happening and the protests that's happening, people are home and they're probably bored out of their mind. You got people that haven't had a day off probably in months, and now they have to be forced to sit at home, and they're probably bored out of there and like, you know what? I have to reconsider retiring. I literally thought about this the other day. I'm like, we're home when it was shut down. Like, this is crazy. I was thinking I have to work, X amount of years and maybe retire, maybe work from somewhere remotely here and there. But I'm like, no, I'm going to be bored. Yeah. I need that. What's next? What am I going to do next? How can I help next? What can I do to expand my proximity?
You're talking about something that's really dear to me, which I identify as your identity, right? So where do you tether your identity to? Some people tether it to relationships with other people. Some people tether it to the stuff they have. Some people tether it to the status that they have at work. Other people tether it to their possessions. Other people tether their identity to their faith, whatever that belief system is. So the question is, where is your identity tied to? Now, if it's tied to people and something happens to those people, guess what happens to you? You break. You get broken. You go into depression. There's a lot of people who their whole identity is their family, and then there's a divorce that happens or somebody passes away, and now you go into this massive thing of depression. So I would, my opinion, my brothers, my identity is tethered to my faith in God, and that's my whole identity. The reason is simple to me, is because it's not of this world. Regardless of what happens in this world, whether it's COVID or some other pandemic or SARS or 9/11 or, Y2K or something happens literally every other year. Go back and look at the history. It's mass pandemonium. And I'm like, hey, you're still in this world. If you want to live in abundance, you got to get out of this world. You got to feed your spirit and stop feeding the flesh. We got to stop feeding the same stuff tethered to our identity to the government or whatever. If you want to live truly abundant lives, we need to understand that we cannot tether it to things that die. It's the circle of life.
Tether to worldly things.
That's right, man.
Worldly things.
That's right.
This is it. Flesh. We're unfortunately people. What you're speaking, your audience probably understand this, but a lot of people do not understand this. Yeah. Because they live day by day, right? Yeah. And it is okay because a lot of people are programmed to do that. But I love what you just said. You're tethered to God because you're thinking this is just temporary right now. And what you do here defines what's going to happen next. And you already believe there is a next. You already believe that God is with you. I believe that. I can feel that you're a very religious person. I believe that you believe that God is with you in this podcast right now as we're talking. They believe that what you're doing is for his kingdom. And that is amazing. But unfortunately, a lot of people don't believe that. They believe that, the worldly things that's happening is happening to them, not for them. And if you, and this is a small exercise, if you get a flat tire, You know, why me? Why me? Why me? You can scream out loud and hit the steering wheel and say, why me? Well, why did this happen to you? Have you ever stopped and thought about, well, maybe that flat tire saved my life. Maybe if I hadn't stopped right now, I could have caused a car accident and could have ended someone's life or let alone my own life. Things like that. You have to think. I don't know if you know this. Our building caught fire.
I do know this roughly.
Our new office caught fire. And you know what? We're happy. We're not mad. It happened for a reason. And you know what? The fire started from a computer spark. In the camera, you'll see the screen exploded after like 40 minutes. The fire was excluded in Alex's office. It put itself out after 6 hours. The AC was running. The firefighters couldn't believe this. It didn't spread anywhere else. It was stuck. There was smoke everywhere, obviously. But the fire started, put itself out. No one was in the office. No one got hurt. You know what? Like Charlie says, we're on a winning streak.
That's right.
Nothing. No one got hurt, and it happened for a reason.
It's powerful. Count the blessings, folks. Sal, let's get into this, man. I'm jacked up here today. You've got a phenomenal story, and I believe that your story is the greatest asset a person can possess. Your story ties you to other human beings. When I started like looking at your story, man, and now that we know a lot of the same people, I'm like, man, this guy has a beautiful story of just redemption and work ethic. And dude, the immigrant mindset. Me and you have that same thing, that same piece up here. So maybe take us back, would you? Give us some of the conditions of where you were born and how your life progressed from Iraq to the U.S. Would you walk us through that journey? I would love you just tell it in your own words.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting me share that. Before I didn't like sharing that. Now it seems to be inspirational to other people, so I said, why not? So I'm a Catholic from Iraq. You don't meet too many of those. You know, it's a country that is dominated by Muslims, so we're a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. So, you know, growing up over there, I lived with a decent, you know, in a decent household, and you know, we weren't poor, we weren't rich. We're just getting by, just, you know, just your normal civilian. And before you know it, ever since I was born, I guess there was wars happening and I was a kid. So I don't remember too much of them. I remember a couple, but there was one when I was a baby, I guess, where they said when there was bombing happening, I would have my milk bottle hanging from the side of the bed. And that's where they spot me as a baby, right? Wow. So that one I don't remember. This is the story they remember from. But you know, as I grew up, you know, past 10 years, the final war that happened, my dad actually shifted his work. He's an electrical engineer, so he shifted his work to work with the U.S. Army actually. So he was maintaining the generators for the military bases inside the U.S. Army bases, and he actually, I used to help him fill up the oils, you know, get the big containers and then put them into smaller ones to save on some money. And he used to, you know, just help my dad. I felt good helping my dad. And that's kind of my work started. Then my dad kind of put me behind the computer, and he's like, why don't you send emails and propose? I had no idea what that is. He didn't either. Our cousin pretty much told us, okay, use this software and, you know, submit offers and things like that. If the generator breaks down, just send him an invoice. So I was just young, happy to help my dad. And at that time, you know, it was really, really rocky, you know, in Iraq, like bombings everywhere, you know, people getting shot, people getting kidnapped by the insurgents, by the radicals mainly. So after the war, wasn't really the war itself that actually terrorized everything. It was actually Iraq became like a magnet of insurgents because they saw that there's the U.S. Army there, borders fell. It's an easy prey to come, and you know, it became kind of a foundation there. So it was very, very ugly times. I mean, I remember going to school and seeing an explosion in front of me, and roads get blocked, and you know, almost being kidnapped multiple times, myself and my brother. They broke in our house twice because we are Catholics, number one. Number two, we work with the U.S. Army, so we were like a double whammy to enter the house. As a matter of fact, before we leave our house, the house was full of bullet holes. The second break-in, when they first broke in, I was very young, and I ran. I remember running. I hear bullets, and I don't know what to do. All I do is I open the door, run upstairs, and thank God no one got hurt. The second time we had barricaded upstairs. My parents sleep upstairs. My brother, myself, and my grandma. She's 97 now, I believe, or 96, and she lives in the U.S. as well. And we barricaded the downstairs door and upstairs, and all I hear is this thudding, this noise, and I wake up in the middle of the night, and I tell my brother, I'm like, dang, they're bombing the shit out of, excuse my French, that area next door, because there was a lot of conflict going on there. And then I try to go back to sleep, and I hear some kind of footsteps and a bang. Now I found out it wasn't bombing. It was someone literally running, trying to break our door. Wow. So there was multiple people that broke in the house, and then there was loud exchange of fire. My dad from upstairs heard that, started exchanging fire back and forth. I opened the door. At that time, my dad gave me his knife, his army knife. I'm like, I need something. And I run upstairs. I see someone run by. And as I'm going upstairs, I look up, and there's this guy coming downstairs, and he shoots, and he has no ammo.
By the way, if you guys are interested in real estate investing and you are in Canada, I wrote a book here called Real Estate Secrets Exposed. Learn how to actually make money virtually, which is cool, from the comfort of your home. Yes, it is possible if you understand the value and how to do wholesaling. And if you don't know anything about wholesaling, you need to grab this book. It's absolutely free. There's no page numbers. There's nothing else in there. It's just ready to go, though. Humble.ceo to grab your free copy.
Wow. Every time I talk about this, I have like the chills. My hair like
I'm getting the chills. Up. Wow.
So the guy ran it, and all I do is I'm still young. I don't know what to do. That's the second time they break in. Even though my parents told me, don't do that again. Don't ever get out of your room when you hear something happen, because you might compromise, your brother, your grandma, or someone else. They can use you as a hostage. We actually had conversations about this. And all I do is I ball up like this, and I run. I don't know what's happening. The guy's reloading. Apparently, he gets elbowed by me by accident. I'm a little guy, and boom, he fumbles, and he drops the magazine. But we actually kept that magazine until I came to the United States. So that was my encounter as a child, just trying to survive. So survival was the only thing I know. I remember, after the second incident, my parents, my grandma, my brother, all of us slept in our bedroom, and we barricaded it, and all the rooms in the houses were closed. So in case something happened. And I remember my mom staying up late at night, and I would ask, Mom, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I'm okay. Then I started to realize a pattern. She would watch the shadow under the door. I don't know if you know this. If it's dark in the room and outside there's light, you'll see, you see the little light under the door. And she would stay up, because every time they break in, she would see shadows. The first time and the second time, that's what she sees because she's in the room. And that was she was terrified every night. And I would be like, Mom, it's okay. I'm going to watch it right now. Just relax, go to sleep. So it was fear. Every night we're going to sleep. Every day we're waking up. How are they going to break in? And it was constant. Every night, I don't know if you know this, but in Iraq, we don't have power 24/7. We would have 3 hours, then off 3 hours, then 2 hours, and off 3 hours. And so power was not a luxury. Yeah. And it's still not. So we would have a generator at the house upstairs, and there was a generator for the whole area, the streets that we pay money to. There's let's say there's someone that volunteered to do that, and I have to go when the power cuts off. It's super hot in Iraq. I would go out with my gun, unlock the door, make sure no one is outside, switch the breakers, lock the door again, go upstairs, because we have we can actually walk on the roof, and turn on the generator, go back to sleep. And that was multiple years of my life. And my family had to suffer from that. So all we had to do is pretty much just survive. That was the only instinct we had. There was no purpose. There wasn't about money. It wasn't about, helping others. It was just about, how can I survive today so I can see tomorrow?
Wow. So you're in this, and is it Chaldean? Is that culture?
I'm a Chaldean, correct?
Yeah, Chaldean Christian Catholic. Yeah. So you're in this essentially war zone every day, and you're just fending for your life every day. and in a way that's so symbolic of some of the people that in North America, they think they're fending for their life, but we have no idea, some people here, of the amazing privilege it is to be in Canada and the U.S. Amazing, amazing, abundant privilege. Because if you don't know that, and Romania was similar. I mean, I think Iraq was worse in that perspective when we were there. But same thing, man. At 9 o'clock at night, the hydro goes down. You don't have it. It doesn't matter if it's the middle of winter. It doesn't matter what's going on. Like, you just don't have it. Your communist rule, dictatorship in Romania. Like, nobody's doing anything without approval. So take what we have in the world now and then multiply it a few times, and you might start to get the sense of what that looks like. No freedom of speech, no freedom of religion, no freedom of beliefs. Like, you don't have any of those things. Those are a privilege.
You can't go publicly and say a joke or voice your opinion.
Yeah.
You and your family will be wiped out.
Yeah.
And no one can say anything about it.
So walk us from that, my friend. Walk us. So you're here. You're obviously day by day, right? You're fending for yourself here in a way. As a child, you're doing things that are completely unimaginable to North Americans. Where does your life go from there?
So we left to Jordan for 6 months in order for us to come to the United States. We were able to come to the United States. My dad had a cousin over here that was able to get him a work permit. So because it was going to take too long through the other processes. So we came to the United States on February 25th, 2006. I remember the day. I still remember the day we were landing. And we landed to Arizona, and I still reside in Arizona. And that was the day that I felt relief. I felt that I was even scared on the plane, because what if they didn't let us in? Like, I was literally that scared, because I don't want to go back. That's it. Like, I didn't know if we were gonna survive another day, because it's gotten so bad that we've gotten threats. We've always been kidnapped. We've almost been kidnapped so many tries, and that's it. Like, I knew if we went back, we would have died. Our family would have been wiped out.
Yeah.
That's it. So we land here, and now we're in a safe haven. And you know what? I myself take this for granted sometimes, but I do try always to remember, when we have conversation like this, I remember the days. I remember how it felt being back home. And I'm pretty sure you do the same thing. And I don't blame the people that don't know better. They don't know better. When you said people they don't know how it feels not being over there, or because they don't know better.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And I'm gonna get into a good message after this. And we came here, thought we came to a safe haven. And guess what? Within months, my brother started working at this gas station, and on the way back at nighttime, someone almost killed him. And we lived in a fairly good apartment complex, and someone tried to steal his car. My brother doesn't speak much of English. My brother doesn't know how insurance works. So the guy tells him, "Give me your keys." My brother say, "F you," and try to punch him. The guy literally got a knife, and he start cutting him here and there. Thank God he had a jacket folded up, and it went through the jacket. He came knocking on the door, bleeding. I mean, I don't know how he survived that. So, and we're like, oh my God, like, this is, bad things still can happen. But whatever, it's nothing that we haven't seen. But then we realized my dad, I wasn't able to work because I had no work permit, right? So all I could do is find odd jobs. I found every odd job you can think about. I became an AC technician helper. I started painting walls. I would go knock on in Arizona, we have golf courses that, the fences rest out. I'm sure in a lot of states does the same thing. So what I did is I knock on the door, say, "Hey, I'll scrape your fence and I'll paint it for you." Yeah. And I did that. I did plumbing. Every odd job you can think about, I tried doing.
You hustled, man.
When I got my work permit, as soon as I got that, I started applying for jobs that I can actually file taxes with. And I was still in high school. At that time, we had purchased a house. My dad purchased the house with the money that he was able to make from back home. But unfortunately, we lost all of it. That, he bought a house, then payments start coming in. Then he he tried to work. He became an AC technician as well. He studied for a whole year for that, and tried to do as much as he can to provide for his family. But I remember when all of it went away, and my dad was sitting in the backyard. My dad doesn't cry. He's a tough guy. He's cried twice in his life. When my uncle died, and that moment when I saw him in the backyard. And he felt like he failed. He failed financially. He failed his family. And we were trying to sell the house. Houses weren't doing that great. You know, market shift. Everything is not going. And that was the moment I decided I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure family is okay. That was literally the moment. Like if you count it to the minute or the second, that was the moment. As soon as I got my work permit, right, like it was not even 2 weeks after that, I believe I got my work permit. Boom, applied for multiple jobs. Became dry cleaning. I worked at a dry cleaner, and you know what? From then, survival is not the same. Right now, we're trying to survive financially. For me, all I thought about is we're gonna make it, survive death. But I didn't know there was the financial problem, right? We're gonna come to a safe haven. Everything is gonna be okay. Life is gonna continue on, no problems. But guess what? Life, there's always obstacles. Yeah. There's always something. There's always next. So that was the next thing, is how to survive financially. So obviously, did every odd job that you can continue to do that. Work part-time, went to 0-hour school, so I can leave school early, so I can continue to work. Then work as an AC technician when he can call me when I don't have as much work with the dry cleaner. When there was not enough work, I would go paint fences again. So it was all at the same time. Whatever I could. There was not a day that I could say, you know what, let me sleep more. It's like, let me do some more. Let me try to make some more money so we can get out of this situation. And that was it from that moment until today. The day I woke up today, and it's still happening right before this podcast. I was literally working on my computer.
So you've got this hunger, man, and I love this about immigrants and people who come from adversity, because you can use your adversity in two ways. You can use it as a victimhood, or you can use the adversity as a weapon. You can point it this way or point it this way. Oh, woe is me, sad is me. Or no, I'm going to own my adversity. I'm going to use it to fuel me so that I can do amazing things, because I don't ever want to go back there. So immigrants have this sense of just complete and utter fear of going back to where they were. So we work because, like, dude, I hope they never send me back. Same with me. I hope they never send me back to communism. So when you have that in your mindset and you're like, I have a privilege of being here, it becomes really an opportunity. So I think there's a difference between having a sense of privilege and being privileged. They're two different things. So if you're privileged, right? Like if you've got the first one where you have a sense of privilege and duty and honor, you're going to run and you're going to do the most you can with what you have. And people say, how much is enough? You're like, it's not about enough. It's about doing as much as you possibly can to help yourself and the people around you. When you have
when you leave this earth, you want to feel like you. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. When you leave this earth, go ahead.
When you leave this earth, I want to feel like I've done everything. I've exhausted everything that I could possibly have done in my entire life, and feel good about it. I don't want to leave this earth saying, "Oh my God, I wish I would have done that." Because guess what? That time's up.
Yeah. You don't have time for those negative feelings and stuff. Like, this is why I love about immigrants and you specifically, Sal. It's like, we just need to go. We have no time to waste. We have no time to waste on emotions. We give a lot of thought over here to our emotions. So let's touch on this real briefly, and then we'll move on. But it's like, oh, I feel this way, or I don't feel like doing the work, or I don't feel like this. You, back home, dude, you didn't have time for emotions. You're getting killed. So you don't have time to feel like going to work. You don't have time to feel like turning on that generator. You just do it because you have to do it. And that's all. Absolutely. That's all what it is. So for you, is this how you developed? Is that like, do you have that same sense of like, I don't have time and the luxury to feel, I just need to do good?
100%. So in this household, they call me a Tasmanian devil because when I have an idea, I get up early in the morning, I do it, and then when I come back from work, I continue to do other things, and they're like, dude, why don't you just take it? I'm like, no, that's how I can do more things. I get up and do it. I continue. There is no resting. There is always how to improve. How can I improve? How can I improve mentally? How can I improve the people around me? How can I improve the people that outside my circle? Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much been my life ever since I came over here. Because guess what? Think about this. And a lot of people, if you put yourself in these kind of conditions, a lot of people say, well, no, don't quit your job because that job is secure. I'm sure a lot of people's parents, if you have young entrepreneurs watching the podcast, probably 50% of their parents, if not 60%, they're saying those things. No, don't chase your dream. Go ahead, have a steady job. You'll get the 401k. You'll get your vacation. The little dangling carrots.
Yep, yeah, that's right.
And you know what? Just to I hate to break it to you, it is not the truth. That's not security. There is no such a thing as called security. Yeah. Actually, just with what happened, we're at 14-something% unemployment rates. And where's the security there? Yeah. So the mindset I have is I don't want to have to choose to take my time off. I don't want to have to choose to work, to have someone else to choose for me. I want to choose that. Would you rather be the person that chooses to push forward or have someone else stop you from pushing forward?
Yeah. Well, it's interesting you say that because you've got that choice anyways, right? You've got that choice, man. And, the hunger of...
In here.
That's right, in here. Nobody else in your life is going to do it for you. Your government won't do it. Your friends won't do it. Your co-workers won't do it. Nobody will help you live in your own alignment and your own purpose. We get so lost on stuff, Sal. We get lost on things that we're doing and we feel like they're productive and we're living our little life and our little, comfortable little cozy bubble of Netflix on Fridays and pizza Tuesdays. And we have these little rules that we make for ourselves. And so long as nobody violates our rules, we're doing this comfortable thing. And then the moment that we can't have pizza every day, it's like, oh man, the life is so bad. Life is so difficult. And I'm not here to put blame. I'm not here to criticize. All I'm here is provide a little bit of perspective from somebody like you who's been in a different place. Because when you gain that perspective and when you understand that it's not that immigrants are coming here working smarter or harder or just these other acronyms and things we use, it's that they come here with a drive and an appreciation for life. The fact that you wake up every day, there is such a deep ingrained gratitude there that we know that we could have just as easily not ended up here. So that zest for life is you can't buy that. You can't put a price on that level of gratitude. And we can try to fabricate gratitude every day, right? Right, Sal? With practice your morning meditation and The Secret and all this stuff. And we can try to pursue that. But that thing there, Sal, is a superpower. It is a superpower where you don't need to be motivated to get up and do good. You just do good because it's the right thing to do. You do good because God's given you an opportunity to do good, and that's all you ever need. You don't need somebody on this earth to validate doing good.
Absolutely. I choose to work hard. I choose to serve better because that's my choice rather than me being forced by someone else to do that. I always say I can't return to be an employee anymore. If I had to do it, I'll do it to get by. But you know what? The first chance I get, I'm bouncing back. I'm going to become my own CEO again. I cannot do that again because I would rather push myself further because someone else might stop me from pushing myself further. Oh, you can't rack up extra hours. You can't do this. I choose to push further. And it's as simple as that. If I don't, someone else will. And you know what? We can't want things in life and I want to drive this nice car. Everybody wants things, but they're not willing to put the work.
Let's talk about that real quick, Sal. Okay, the idea of fear and faith. We talked about this before the show. The idea of I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to lose. I'm scared of what people will say about me. I'm scared of all these things. I believe that in North America, you have a floor, and that floor is called bankruptcy. And you're in a country or two countries that gives you a second chance, a third chance, and a fourth chance with essentially a slap on the wrist. I know it doesn't seem like it, but in relative to the rest of the world, that is what it is. How do you perceive risk and how do you perceive faith and fear, those two elements in your life, and how do those tie into risk? If you can elaborate your thoughts.
So I've never heard that, someone put it the way you have, but the bankruptcy, great. I haven't even thought about that. But you know what's something stronger than that? Knowledge. I can show up in I can be broke. I can lose everything. But you know what I haven't lost? Is this. Because I know how to rebuild it. You'll see multiple millionaires or billionaires have lost everything and they regain it back. How did they regain it back? How did they? You got people combine lifetimes. They don't do as well as other people. Yeah. Why do you think that is? It is all up here. It's the information that you retain. It's the expansion that you always make into your own self growth. Successful people read books. Successful people go to rooms or meetings that they're the smallest fish in the room. If you're the big dog in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to go somewhere where you're the dumbest person in that room. You're just receiving information, and what's next for you? And you know what? I feel okay. If I lose everything, I know I can gain it all back, if not more, because that will push me even further. Say, you know what? I could lose it all. Let me push it even further.
Love that. Love that. I think one of the greatest gifts we can ever have is perspective. Perspective is like this. You go to the last page of this book, and you kind of have a vision of what that last chapter looks like. And based on that, you don't know the story, you don't know the whole plot, you don't know the twists and turns, you don't know where the dilemmas are going to come. But based on the end result, you're going to push forward. And my dad's a minister, he taught me that a lot of us have hope. Hope is this feeling, this thought, this awareness of what might be possible. But it doesn't become faith until we add movement. So if you're like, I have no faith, it's because you're not moving. You have to move through faith. You can't take faith. You can't just create and manufacture faith. It's a tangible, because you're developing your faith by taking action and getting feedback loops from the world around you. Otherwise, it's a hope. So I think when you have a vision for where you want to be, like a book, you simply move in that direction. Sometimes you deviate, sometimes you don't deviate. But that element is like, my book ends here. And the beautiful part about this is that tomorrow's version of you, Sal, is a better version. Next week is a better version. Next month and next year is a better version. You will be smarter next year.
I can make it worse. I can easily, if I feed my flesh, if I become an unfaithful husband and all that, God can take all that away, by the way. So let's talk about faith.
Yeah.
All the stuff that I can speak for myself, that I possess, I believe God has given me that. I truly believe so. Going even further back. So you think that guy that ran out of ammo, that was a coincidence that I didn't get shot? I don't think so. I think God was with me at that moment. I'm telling you that there's another one. When the war first happened, people start shooting in the air, whether they're happy that Saddam was gone or whatever the reason. And I remember walking outside and with my friend named Sal as well, and all I hear is and bam, I swear a bullet not even a feet away from me has landed. And we look at each other and we just run, right? I run to my house, he runs, we didn't even speak at that second. We just looked at each other and ran. That bullet could have easily hit me. I believe God was with me, was protecting me for something better. And everything I have today is God's given. This worldly stuff is not mine. It's all God's. And he can take it away if I'm not a good steward. If I'm a bad person deep down and I've been blessed with these things, all these things can be taken away. You'll see a lot of people, and I'm going to give you an example. You mentioned your has about Justin Bieber, so I remember this example. Justin Bieber became at his top at a very young age. And you know what? He didn't go through the adversity to kind of train himself to be a better steward or do better with his money or whatever it is. Then guess what? He took this wrong path. He looked miserable for some time. And guess what? For a whole year, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I don't follow the news like this, but I think for a whole year, he started attending to church. He kind of became off the grid. And then he wanted a better purpose. He wanted a higher purpose. And you know what? That is the best example I can give about society nowadays. If you got if you're today you just got a phone call, you hit the lottery, you got $1 million, $10 million, or whatever it is. You think are you ready for that money? Are you going to end up like a lot of people do? They end up with abusing substances, abusing the money they have. Money doesn't make you a bad person. Money only amplifies the person that you really are. So if you're POS and you get more money, you just become a bigger POS.
Yeah.
And so on.
Dude, so, I love that whole phrasing, because we've been down this conversation before about you're not ready. So many of us are trying to rush our way into success and wealth, and you're not ready yet. Because the truth is, I believe opportunity equals skill plus chance. We all have the same chances every day. We all see the same broken house. We all drive for dollars essentially our whole life. We don't even know what it's called, driving for dollars, right? We're looking at houses. We're looking at real estate. It's been in front of us our entire life, but we are not ready mentally to do something about it. So we know, but we don't know. And you have kind of two options. If you chase the money and you start attaining some level of money with no personal development, you will look for ways to try to find fulfillment, because you will feel completely empty with money. If you pursue
spend the money before you even get it.
And you'll spend it before you get it, right. But if you pursue personal development first, and you develop the core disciplines around money, time, relationships, your body, your spirit, if you develop those disciplines, and it's a progressive thing, it doesn't just wake up tomorrow like I'm perfect. No, you're not. Your body will never be perfect, so you'll never be perfect. But it's a progressive thing. What happens is you're equipping yourself to manage that money. And when you can manage a little, you'll manage a lot. And so for people saying like, how do I make a lot of money? The answer is manage the $2 you have. Dude, if you can't manage the $2 you have as a faithful steward, then 20 won't be managed, 200, 2,000, or 2 million. It's not going to happen. I meet a lot of people who ask for a raise and they want more money at their job. And I'm like, why? What do you need more money for? You're just going to blow it like you blew the last money. Money's not your problem. It's core discipline is the problem. So talk on that if you would, man. What's your take on that? Do you agree, disagree? How do you perceive that whole discipline and development in relation to money?
There is multiple factors. So there's two things I'm going to talk about. Factor number one, happiness can't come from one source, and you highlighted over that. Happiness has to come from multiple things: your family, your relationship, your relationship with God, maybe some wins that you have. Maybe you can have it from your house, from your activities, from working out, from the little trips you take. It has to be a combination of a lot of things to make you happy. But I almost lost my train of thoughts. A lot of people, and I know this from the car industry because I own 2 car dealerships. I sold one of them so I can dedicate that. And we haven't even got to the financial stuff.
Yeah,
but anyway,
we still got a lot.
And I love this stuff because this is what people need. Like, you need to have a good foundation. So in the car industry, taxes, when people file for taxes, the taxes doesn't just get deposited in their account right away, right? So there's a gap. So I used to see all this surge of clients calling or coming into the dealership, and you know what? I'm gonna come and buy this car next week when I get my check. Or here's all I have right now, but my check is coming, and I'm gonna put a down payment on something they can't even afford, because that is what we call as, and this is in the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. It's the income, the financial thermostat. You got people. What does this thermostat do? Mm-hmm. If I set it at 70 and the temperature goes to 71, is going to bring it down to 70. Mm-hmm. And if it goes down to 69, is going to bring it back to 70. Mm-hmm. Right? So that's a thermostat. It regulates. Mm-hmm. So you literally have something called a financial thermostat. And subconsciously, and it's been like, we're trained to do that, by the way, with society. Subconsciously, you're already spending the money because you're used to having an X amount of money in your bank account, or not having any money in the bank account, whatever. It's $100. So if you're getting $2,000, you're already thinking of ways of spending that $2,000 before you even get it, because your financial thermostat is so set without you even knowing that. Mm-hmm. And that is a true thing. If you want to, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind is a bigger book of an old book that I read. It's actually the first book I read. It's called Richest Man in Babylon.
Love that book.
The Richest Man in Babylon is an older book, but very old language too, but one of the best books I read. I was doing things before I read that book, then I realized that book is just confirming that the things I was doing is right. It tells you to take 10% and save that. If you're living month by month, let's say you make $2,000 a month, $1,500 a month, and every month you end up with having a couple dollars in your pocket. You're like, how can I save, to invest, to do something? Take 10% of that, put it aside, and your financial thermostat would actually kick in with whatever you save. Let's say it's $2,000 and you save 10%, it's $200. So now you're going to survive with that $1,800 somehow, some way, because your financial thermostat is adjusting itself. And then the next month you can increase it. The next month, I'm not saying that you're not going to spend money. I'm just saying there is ways of doing that. And there's other ways of raising that. You can find alternative ways instead of watching 2 hours of Netflix, hanging out with your friends. You can dedicate that time. Go buy some stuff from Gary Vee does that all the time. You can go buy stuff from garage sales and post them on eBay. There's always ways to make money.
Always an opportunity. Sal, you're right. Always an opportunity for people that are willing to make that conscious decision. But it's going to take giving up your current comforts. We've developed a society where we become comfortable and then we want change. We want to change in our bank account, but we don't want to change our lifestyle. We want to get a shortcut to having the money and buying. Like, dude, you have 2 beautiful Lamborghinis. But congratulations, by the way, on the gorgeous red Urus and on the Aventador. Those of you that like Lamborghinis, like myself, I drive a Gallardo. Not different models, different whatever. The beautiful cars. You have beautiful worldly things, and it's a reflection of who you are. Just speaking to you, Sal, for an hour gives me a very strong indication of the kind of person you've had to become, the kind of adversity you've had to conquer in order to master yourself so you can master the concepts of money and other elements here. So I love that you're talking about this because it's so important and so relevant to today's society. If you want to win, folks, there will be a price. And maybe your feelings, it may be some of the comfort decisions that you've made, and maybe some of your free time. It's probably going to be a lot of your stress and anxiety, but it's probably also going to be the people in your life that don't produce value. You might have to cut some of that stuff out. And if you want to live your life exactly the same way as you live it, but have more, they don't work that way. You have to give something to your purpose. If your purpose is greater, if you have pain in your life and you want more financial freedom, you want more money, you want better relationships, there will be a price. So you've got to decide, do you want to pay it?
You and I are lucky that we came from hardship.
Yes,
because
sir.
That was our X factor.
Yes, sir.
For the people that don't have X factors, you don't have to wait. You don't want to be a crocodile. Crocodile only move when the pain is big enough. They only when they mate or they're hungry. They're always still. Yep. You don't want to be that person. The only reason we move because we don't want to go back to the ways we were before. So I think that we are lucky from where we come from. That was our X factor. But you know what? You have the choice. You have the choice to actually move without being forced to move. That is the best way when you're convinced that, you know what, I don't need to stay an extra hour today. I don't need to rest an extra time. Moderation is everything. And you know how crazy, you mentioned I have 2 nice cars. I actually have a Prius that I drive daily. My Aventador, it comes months where I don't drive it, where my own team members ask me, hey, do you still have the car? Yeah, I do. Can you bring it tomorrow so we can? So I would bring it. I literally drive it. You know why? I don't want to eat steak every day. I'll get sick of steak.
Yeah.
I want moderation. I don't want to lose the flavor, the it of it.
I love that.
And you know what? A lot of people would abuse things like that and move on to other things. You gotta appreciate what you have. You gotta thank the Lord with what you have every day. You know, you're waking up healthy. Thank the Lord for giving me another day. You drive a nice car. Thank the Lord for allowing me to drive this nice car. I don't want to drive this car like a daily driver where I lose its flavor. Call me crazy, but that's the way I like to live my life. I'm gonna push like PhD. Someone told me this, and I love it. Poor, hungry, and determined. I have a mindset of a PhD. I wake up in the morning like I'm poor and I'm hungry and I'm determined. Whether I have $1 million, $2 million, $3 million in my bank account, it does not matter. The day I wake up is the same thing. PhD mindset.
I love that. The PhD. Poor, hungry, and determined. Dude, I love it. I love your spirit. I love just developing who you are. So folks, I'll leave you with this last message here, which is, you have a choice every day, feed the flesh or feed the spirit. My belief system is simple. If you focus on feeding the spirit, and you're going to develop internal gratitude, you're going to develop awareness, you're going to develop your sense of purpose, but we have to give up the things that make us feel good. It's not about feeling good in this life. It's about doing good in spite of the feeling. I don't feel like working out, but at the same point, I don't want to be 100 pounds overweight. I was 40 pounds heavier, dude, a couple years ago, and I'm like, I don't feel like working out. I feel like drinking pop every day and eating burgers. I don't feel like doing everything else, but if I don't do good, I'll never feel good later. So I think the point is this: start doing good. And as you do good, you'll feel better, and which means you'll do more good, and it becomes an amazing compounding effect in your life over your mind, body, spirit, relationships, and your money. And all those things combined will give you the sense of fulfillment that you're trying to achieve. Sal, I'm so appreciative of you, man, and our friendship and this amazing conversation where you've invested in our audience here in Canada. What's the best place, Sal, that folks can follow on you on your journey, stay connected with you? Where should they go, man?
Yeah, thank you. I didn't even know I was allowed to even mention those, but you can find me on Instagram at Sal Shakir, SalShakir. Same thing on Facebook, Sal Shakir. If you want to know more about us and our movement, allinnation.com. You will find everything that we have. We give a bunch of free stuff. We have the podcast as well. I know how hard it is to put a podcast. So for you to have 46 episodes in a row, man, I got to applaud you on that. So
thank you, man.
Yeah, so we have a bunch of free stuff on there if you want contrast trips, and we often give a bunch of other free stuff. So allinnation.com.
I love that. And for those of you guys that are home, I'd want you to do two things. Follow my man, Sal. Very, very generous person in spirit. I know you guys just put out a book. I think it's called The Best Wholesaling Book Ever. I want you guys to grab that. I want you to go to the All In Nation website. Get connected. These guys are not just 3 or 4 guys in a group of people doing business. It's a movement of people invested, growing, focused on abundance, focused on servant leadership, which is such an important concept. And those of you on the show know that I've had Carlos Reyes and Alex Saenz on the show. And then Sal completes the trio of leadership over at All In Nation. So, folks, I really want you to connect with these guys. I'm so thankful for you, Sal, and everything that you brought in today's conversation. Super just humbled, man, by you and your success and your mindset. And I'm excited when this whole, pandemic thing is over and I get back on a flight and come back out there and see you guys and do some absolutely. Cool stuff, man.
I have an extra couple of rooms here, so
great. You got an extra Lambo? You got an extra Lambo I can roll with?
I have a couple extra cars, so you can go and rent the car, go rent the place. You're staying here.
Yeah, I feel like you and I are gonna be good friends going forward, man. So I'm excited.
We already are.
I already knew, man. I already know the immigrant stuff. As soon as I connected with Carlos, I was like, bro, you guys are my people, man. We already the same. We just needed to connect at some point. So thank you, man. Thank you so much again for being here, Sal. And I'm gonna connect with you very soon, and we'll do some stuff, man. We'll do some stuff. Keep growing, man. Keep serving. Appreciate you. I'm watching, bro.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless you too, man. Take care. Hey, it's Ben Humble. Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what my guest is talking about and you're getting massive value from it, then scroll to the bottom, open up the description, and follow them on social media. Support them, connect with them. Just scroll down there, click the link, and let's roll. Stay humble.
Make sure to subscribe to Ben on YouTube so you can stay up to date on everything Humble, featuring daily episodes of the Humble Podcast and weekly video content providing motivation, real estate strategies, and personal development for everyday life. Also, follow Ben on Facebook and Instagram for daily interactions. Check out humble.ceo and download a chapter of Ben's new book, From Communism to Capitalism, absolutely free.